Let me tell you a harsh truth. Most people will wait years hoping that their managers notice them someday. Meanwhile, a small percentage, 10% or less, according to corporate behavior studies, get promoted every 18 to 24 months. And here's the twist, they're not always the smartest. They're not the one who work the hardest and long hours. And they're not the ones who are the most experienced. So why do they move up while all the others stay stuck? Here's the blueprint. It's important to understand how promotions actually happen. Most people think promotions are like school grades, good marks, good results, promotions, and they're wrong. According to Gartner, only 36% of the promotion decisions are made on performance. Only 36%. The remaining is based on visibility, influence, trust, and readiness. Let's take an example. Two employees get similar results, but one of them stays in the background and is silent, is quiet. The other talks in meetings, communicates regularly, and is known across the teams. When the opportunity to promote one of them comes, can you guess who will get promoted? It's not because the boss is unfair, but the organization must choose somebody who is less risk, lower risk. More visibility is always lesser risk for the organization. Like I always keep telling people, do work that is of the scope of your next level. Do work that looks like the job above your level. If you do the work of your level, you stay in your level. Only when you do the job which is above your level, the next level, if you take tasks of your boss or the next level tasks, only then you become promotable. Understand this. It's a very important point. A Harvard Business Study review found that people who worked and took tasks of the next level were 2.4 times more likely to get promoted. 2.4 times more. Are some tips on how to do this. Offer to volunteer and lead small projects, help onboard new employees, create templates, processes, frameworks, take ownership of problems that nobody wants. Look at some of the tasks which the boss or the next level has to do, but is looking for somebody to volunteer because it's in nobody's job scope. Volunteer, take up that stuff. Behave and act like you already are in the next role. Do that job, do that work. Here's a real life example without taking names. An analyst in an FMCG company started volunteering to organize and lead cross functional team meetings. This was not his job scope, he didn't have to do it. But he did, he volunteered. So when a manager's role opened, he was the first one to be offered that role. He was the natural choice. The third action which I would recommend is very important for you to understand. Become the person that your manager cannot survive without. Let me repeat. Become that person that your manager completely depends on and trusts. You need to ask your manager that one question. What is those tasks that I can do that will make your life easier? If you realize it's not talking about what's your job scope, it's not about your role, it's not about asking for more money, it's just about helping your boss do his job well, may achieve his results, make him look nice in front of his boss, make your boss's life easier. Pick up those tasks, volunteer, ask him. Doesn't matter if it's your scope. And go put your heart in it and do it. When you start solving your manager's top problems, you start building trust. You become priority and you get influence. Remember always, managers fight for those people who make them look good. Help your boss look good in front of their managers. Take away a lot of his load and help with your heart. Go that extra mile. Here's a skill that most people neglect, this communication skill. McKinsey Talent Reports says that people with good communication skills grow 2x times faster in their career. This doesn't mean talking more, it just means communicating clearly. Write concise mails with clarity. Present confidently. Share updates proactively, regularly, and speak in structure. Problem, insight, next actions, and who's the owner and by when, the timeline. Here's another example, and you'll relate to this. Two employees complete a project. One sends a 3 line update on the project to his manager and other people in his manager's peers. The other employee writes or creates a small PowerPoint, a 2 minute presentation showing results, impact, and recommendation. It might have taken the second guy more effort to make this, but he is the one who will be remembered, not the first guy who was lazy. Same work, different perceived value. Here's what I normally say: build your brand. What's your brand internally in the company? What's your reputation? Brand is what people see you as inside the company. Remember, your reputation travels faster than your work. According to Deloitte, 65% of the promotions come to people who are known across teams, known positively. Here are some tips to build internal visibility. Attend cross functional meetings, try and present in internal meetings, in monthly reviews, share best practices, offer help to other teams, volunteer for high impact tasks. Remember, visibility is currency. Being known is a currency. You need to understand the difference between hard work and promotable work. Here's a surprising study done by J.C. Berkeley. The study showed that people who did work on high impact projects versus people who just did more work. The high impact project workers usually were 27% more promotable and got more promotion than the other who worked harder. The difference was visibility. So when you take on work, additional work, understand what is that work. Don't be a dumping ground for all those low value work which somebody wants to just pass on. Choose work that drives revenue, reduces costs, improves customer experience, increases efficiency, saves time, etc. These are immediate high impact work. Choose them. Promotions come from impact, not effort. Here's another secret. You need to document your wins and share them. You cannot get promoted if you can't prove your value. Keep a weekly achievement logbook, outcomes, matrices, opportunities created, positive feedback, problem solved, etc. Every quarter, send your manager a short summary of all the places where you made an impact. No bragging, just facts. People who document their achievements are 3x more likely to be recognized and promoted than the others. You need to build executive presence. What is executive presence? It's a mix of calmness, clarity, and confidence. A Center for Talent Innovation found that executive presence accounts for 26% of what it takes to get promoted into executive roles. How to build executive presence? Stay calm under pressure. Your emotional quotient is very important. Think before responding. Don't rush to respond. As far as possible, speak in a measured tone. Dress one level above. If the next level of people are people who come with ties, for example, then you start wearing ties. You dress for the next role. How do they dress, those guys? Okay, is there anything unique about them? Then start behaving and dressing like that. This is a small trick, but this works. Very important. Avoid emotional reactions. The moment you react emotionally in anger or any other emotion, you lose points because you are seen as emotionally unstable. Ask smart questions, not just questions to show how smart you are, but questions that provoke thought. They are useful questions, impactful. And remember, focus on solutions, not problems. Don't just bring up a problem and say, oh, but in this proposal, this is the problem. No. Suggest an alternative. Share what can be done. While a coach or a mentor is important, it's also extremely mandatory to have a sponsor. So a sponsor is a guy who is in rooms where you are not present, but they are discussing growth and promotions. You need a sponsor. Each of you need a sponsor. According to Harvard Business Review, employees with sponsors have 23% more chances of getting promoted. Not surprising. How to get sponsors? Identify senior leaders with some influence. Impress them through results. Ask them guidance occasionally and build trust through reliability. When the opportunity appears in a closed room, these sponsors will say the thing which was very important to you. They will say that this guy or this lady is ready for that role. Here's another thought I want you to think about. Whenever the day where a promotion is being decided, you must be the obvious choice, the obvious yes. Think about it. For roles which you are aspiring in the short term, are you the obvious yes? Are you that person? So here's a tip. What does leadership look at when they're deciding on people, assuming performance are okay? First, do we trust them? Have they shown leadership? Are they already doing the work? Do other teams respect them? Very important. And are they low risk? So just look at what I mentioned above. And you have to ask yourself, would the answer to all these above questions be yes in your case? If you answer yes to all of these questions, then you have already made yourself promotable. In summary, I have shared from my life experience what I think will work. There will be three kinds of reactions to this. There will be some will say, yeah, nice video and move on. There will be a few who will say, this is exactly what I needed. And there will be a tiny few people, small number of people, who will start taking action from tomorrow morning, immediately, and start working on it. They are the future leaders. If you want to get promoted, start behaving like you already have that role. Be promotable. Don't wait for somebody to do something for you. Become that person already. Be promotable. Become the person who's already doing that role. Tell the world you're ready. Show them. Because promotions don't go to the best, they go to the one who's ready. Till the next time, stay unstoppable.